Welcome back to Sane Sunday Live. We're glad you could make it here today. If you're watching this on replay and you haven't seen the show before, on this show, we like to shout out the calendar of local car shows and cruise-ins, especially the ones that support children's charities and veterans charities. And I would also like to say it is Armed Forces Day weekend. So big shout out and big support to all of our men in uniform and women in uniform and all of our family members here that served in the military, which is very many, including my dad, my uncles. We also shout out the Insane Friends Live calendar, which is a cooperative among our Insane Friends community. And we have over 10 channels and in more than 8 cities, broadcasting out of 2 different countries, all supporting each other through their live streaming. So there's a live stream almost every night except for Friday night, actually. And then we have car trivia. And tonight, our car trivia is going to be all over the place. All kinds of different cars and everything from like 50s up to like the 80s. So we have a good variety of, I know the last couple of weekends, we did mostly Mustang trivia. So we're kind of breaking it up this weekend and showing some love to a lot of different automakers. Now, without further ado, welcome Fab Automotive Detailing. Fab Automotive Detailing is on our calendar of lives. We'll be shouting him out here in a minute when we go over the Insane Friends live calendar. He is live every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Thank you for being part of the hashtag Insane Friends live calendar, Fab. And thank you for being here. On our calendar of events, this is May the 19th. So we have next put off, and it was yesterday because there was a rain delay. The 4th annual Cruising Car, Truck, and Bike and Plane Show, put on by Sean Evans, was at Tom B. David Field yesterday, 1957 Highway 41, Calhoun, Georgia. We did not find out in time to announce this on our Sane Sunday Live because we found out in the middle of the week last week, and we'd already done our Sane Sunday Live. So we did post it on our Saneauto Facebook page. And our Dalton, our Dalton Car Scene Facebook page. I'm a little distracted tonight. We started a little late because we did our last round in the big old shop building in Chattanooga, which I recently sold. If you've been following our channel and everything, you know, recently sold that. And we got our last load out of there yesterday. And it's over 20 years of transmission work and stuff, and having a crew of 5 to 10 men, second largest and sometimes the first largest transmission rebuilding facility in the Chattanooga area. And a whole nother building dedicated to nothing but parts sales, which I still own and operate that business. We moved literally over $1 million in inventory down here. So going through there the last time was kind of emotional, and it does have me a little bit out of my head. I did get quite a bit of film of the old building before we left. So I will be putting together a video and sharing that with you guys, what the building looks like with all the equipment taken out and all the parts taken out, all the shelves taken out. Went over the offices and everything. The new owner does have some of their stuff in there already, but the place isn't like full of somebody else's stuff yet. So I wanted to get some film while it's still mostly empty. And share with you guys. So I will be sharing that probably sometime next week. We're also going to be back on track. I guess if you've been following, you've noticed that we've got a couple of videos up new videos up last week. We're going to be back to doing 2 or 3 videos a week on the channel like we used to do. We're back to doing that again. And of course, we're still right here every Sunday night at 7:30. Of course, tonight we were a little bit late. But anyhow, tomorrow, next weekend on the 25th, just like we've been talking about before, we will be at the Streetcar Life car show in the Chat State parking lot. It's a huge venue. We're going to be sharing more pictures of what the venue looks like. We've got an aerial photograph of the parking lot and everything going up on the Saneauto Facebook page. There will be $2,400 in prizes. We've got a big flyer up that's telling all about this on the Saneauto Facebook page and the Dalton Car Scene Facebook page that we also officiate. There is a special lot for featured vehicles. There will be donations for little Brantley who needs a heart transplant. There'll be face painting for all the other kids and dyno testing for the big kids. Also the same weekend, if you're further north and you want to go do something in the Gatlinburg area, there's a Smoky Mountain Auto Stampede at the Twin Creek Picnic Pavilion in Gatlinburg, and that is put on by Don Lowry. And there is a flyer for that also on our Saneauto Facebook page and on our Dalton Car Scene page. In June, there's another car show at the Smoky Smoke Go Kart track in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee at 4061 Parkway, Pigeon Forge. This is from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock, the car show is. And then on June the 15th, there is the West Side Cruise-In in Rocky Face, Georgia. That's at 3385 Crider Road. And if you've been following the channel, you know my grandma, her maiden name was Crider. She's one of the Crider girls. She married John Sane, one of the Sane guys. So on this side of town where we live is where Sane Road and a lot of the Sanes were. On the other side of town up in Rocky Face where my dad lives is where Crider Road is, and Old Crider Road, and that's where my grandma came from. And this is where the West Side Cruise-In will be, and it is always an incredible, all the car events, cruise-ins and everything are incredible in West Side. So the Insanefriends live calendar, and then we will get to the car trivia. We get to the car trivia very soon. But first, I want to shout out all the great people that are helping make the Insanefriends live calendar a reality. The marathon of lives every week. Here on Sane Sunday, here on Saneauto, we do Sane Sunday live at 7:30 p.m. on Sunday. Apologize for being late tonight. Like I said, we were doing our last closing of the big shop in Chattanooga. We still have a big shop down here in Dalton. It's just not as big as the one in Chattanooga. All right, taking over with the awesome torch tonight at 9 o'clock. It's only an hour away. It's Gregory Salvatore. He's on every Sunday night at 9. Monday night is E-Tart Adventures at 9 p.m. Tuesday night is Bubsification at 9 p.m. Wednesday night, we are on Sane Enterprises channel with the hashtag Insanefriends Show. And it's all about sales and management and making money on the internet and out in the world. Just anything to make money in sales and management stuff. Then that is followed by Muscle Car Appraisal at 9 p.m. where you get to learn a lot more about cars again, just like you do on Sane Sunday Live. If they don't have a live session, they have a premiere of one of their videos, which will also have car trivia. It usually has good car trivia in it. Thursday night is Dorito and Lucha Cabra at 9:30. Well, it's 9 or 9:30 here on the East Coast, followed by Easy 2 Tips and Tricks, etc., which starts at 10 or 10:30 on the East Coast. That is 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock, respectively, at Pacific time, California time. They're both broadcasting out of California. Then Friday, I'm sorry, don't have anybody on Friday anymore. Saturday is Chopper's Rule 1 at 6:30 p.m. here Eastern time. He is broadcasting out of Australia. So on his time, that is Sunday morning. That is followed by Saturday night at 9 p.m. Fab Automotive Detailing. And that is the whole calendar. Thank you all for being part of the hashtag Insanefriends live calendar. And welcome to the chat, Bottle Caps. It's good to see you here. Fab Automotive Detailing is here. And we usually have a bigger audience at this point, but I started late. So that was my fault. But I had to do one more visit to the big building before the new owners finished moving in all their stuff. I wanted to get some film and some photographs of the building to share with you guys before, you know, it was full of somebody else's stuff, and just before it was actually officially somebody else's building and full of somebody else's stuff. So it's a bittersweet moment for me, you know, and we're moving on to bigger and better things. As some things are smaller and better, some things are bigger and better. But we do have finally, one of the really great things is we finally do have all of the stuff moved to our Dalton building. And we don't have everything unpacked, but we do have everything moved, except for one last large piece of equipment that I did sell to somebody else, and they're going to be picking it up. So, you know, we don't have to go pick it up or move it. The customer that purchased it will be picking it up and moving it. But that is our last tie to the building, the big building in Chattanooga. We are planning to get another piece of property somewhere else, but we're going to be getting it for purpose of leasing it out like we were with the building previously, the last building. And we'll still have this shop for parts and still be selling parts over here. Anyway, our first question for car trivia starts with a little history lesson and then the question. In 1959, MG had sold over 100,000 MGs after 40 years. So it took them 40 years to produce and sell over 100,000 Mustangs by 1959, which is a lot back then. How many MGs were produced in 2018 in 1 year? And it doesn't have to be an exact number because I don't actually have the exact number. The number is rounded off. So, does anybody have any idea how many MGs were produced in 2018? And it's okay to guess. So if you want to put a guess out there, that's perfectly fine. While y'all are mulling that over, I'm going to show you the Saneauto Facebook page on screen share. Let me get it up here. 500. Fab Automotive Detailing says 500. I'm going to hold out for a little bit better guess than that. I say a little higher. It's a surprising number, I'll tell you that much. It is a surprising number of MGs produced in 2018. Produced and sold in 2018. Now here on the Saneauto Facebook page, I'm sorry I'm a little bit behind my friend requests, and I haven't checked the joining request today, so I will do that later. But right now there's of course the live stream calendar. If you want to see the live stream calendar and I'm not live announcing it, you can always see that live stream calendar here on the Saneauto Facebook page. It's pinned to the top. You can see Jason Carr of Old Car Auto Guy. Some of his videos are shared here, and I encourage all the rest of you to share your videos here on the Saneauto Facebook page. There are other people sharing their videos on the Saneauto Facebook page. There are flyers from the local car shows and stuff, like the Streetcar Life flyer that I mentioned before is right there. And more videos shared from our Insane Friends. One of our videos that we just put up last week on how to build a shed for ultra cheap. If you count the screws that I bought for a different project, and I only used a few of them for the different project, it was like $6 for the screws, so that project was under $10. If you count the 30-something dollars I spent on a new circular saw, because after years of use, my other skill saw finally wore out, so I bought another one like it because I had such good luck with the other one. And I did put a link in the description to that circular saw because it's only $35 and it is an actual Skill brand circular saw. Comes from Amazon, so you know it's going to get there very quickly. And it went through some brutal abuse for several years before it finally died. And the only thing that killed it was concrete dust. If I had never put a concrete bit in it and used it for concrete work, it would probably still be going today. Metal cutting and wood cutting, it had no problem with, and it had no problem with ingesting all the dust from that kind of work, but don't use them for concrete work. They'll die. But if you include that, then I still had less than $50 in that shed. And if you're wondering, how is that possible? Well, go watch the video. 10 by 12, and I only spent $50, including the price of the saw. For stuff they're selling at Lowe's and Home Depot for several $100s. All right, and then of course there's our friend Dennis from Canada, one of our hashtag Insane Friends. There is a car you can win at one of the local car shows. That's Dawn Lowry. She's one of the event coordinators. And you can check that out on the Saneauto Facebook page and see what the details are on that. It's a flyer for the Smoky Mountain Auto Stampede. There's one of the pieces of equipment I've got for sale. You can post your for sale stuff on there too. If you've got some car related stuff or tools and equipment. Our Saneauto blog is right here on saneauto.blogspot.com. That's saneauto.blogspot.com. We of course have all our blogs on here, and most of them are how-to blogs on car repairs and stuff and tool reviews. And some of our videos are on here too. Get off a screen share and see what's going on in the chat. If anybody has guessed the answer to this question. Okay, Stacy Morgan and Reviewing Planning More RPM, welcome to the chat. Stacy Morgan is saying that 9,050 were produced and sold in 2018. And don't worry about being late there, Dennis, because I was late too. I was late tonight. So there's definitely no fault in you being late when I'm late. I'm not going to fault you for that. Not going to be hypocritical about it. I wouldn't fault you for being late anyway. I'm just glad y'all show up and listen to my nonsense at all. Think higher. Stacy and Fab both try a higher number. Higher number. The question starts with a little history lesson. Our first question, if you weren't here for the question, in 1959, MG had sold over 100,000 MGs after 40 years of production. So all total, their 40 years of production added up to 100,000 MGs. Now here, fast forward all the way to the future. This is as far in the future as we're going to go with trivia questions tonight. We're not going to do anything this young or this late a model or this. Again, this is the only question that's going to go all the way to 2018. So fast forward to 2018. In 2018, in 1 year, how many MGs were produced in the 1 year of 2018 compared to way back when it took MG 40 years to produce 100,000 MGs by 1959. So I tell you, the most surprising thing about this answer is, and this is a big, huge clue, it is more than the number of cars they produced in that 40 years. It is a larger number than the 100,000 they produced in that 40-year period. So a little bit higher than 1,050, Dennis. A little bit higher than 9,050, Stacey. And a little bit higher than the 500, Fab. You can guess as many times as you want to, so start throwing them numbers out there. There's no shame in that. It's like when you're chasing down an electrical problem on a car, you get that tester out, you get that light tester, you get the volt ohm meter out there, and you start stabbing things and looking for something that don't look right. You start at one end and you start backtracking. You start throwing some numbers out there. Review and planning more says 101,081. Yeah, it's still higher. And you'll have to get you don't have to get the exact number to get it right, but you do have to get closer than that. So keep going, guys. While y'all are doing that, I'm going to hit screen share one more time. And let's take a look at some cool looking MGs. Let's see if we can find some pictures of some really cool looking MGs, since we are all car crazy people. And it is more. Oh, I'm still on Carol Shelby stuff from last week when we were doing some Shelby trivia. Before that, the week before that, we were doing Mustang trivia. Let's take a look at some MGs. MG cars. You got to be careful what you look up on these internet things, because you put MG cars in there, you don't want to come up with some weird stuff. You don't want to. Some of this stuff on the internet, it's just not. They just don't make enough visine for it yet. So be careful what you look at. What the heck is that? That is some weird stuff right there. What is MG into now? See, that's what I'm used to right there. And maybe a little of that. This is their new stuff. And apparently they sold a lot of it in 2018. And we apparently don't see the half of it here in the US. But they're selling a lot of them all over the world. And it's more than 150,000 in 2018. More than 150,000. That looks interesting. They say that's an MG E-Motion electric sports car concept. Oh, it's just a concept. So I'd like to see the production vehicles. Oh, there's the interior. That looks nice. That's what I'm used to seeing. Working on projects. And I'm lucky if they come out looking that nice. Ooh, that's a nice old MG. Look at that. Get better. Aw, it's still just a little thumbnail. 1954. Oh, and we saw a lot of stuff like that in the 70s. MG Roadsters. There's another nice little MG. My mother had a black one when we lived in Warner Robins Air Base. Black convertible. Black with black top. Okay, let me go back and check the chat and see how you guys are doing with the numbers. Hello, DSW Joyride. It's good to see you again. Shout out to the hashtag Mopar community and the Mopar mobsters. While we're doing shout out to all our hashtag Insane friends and to everyone who's in the hashtag I am a creator group, especially our fellow founders of that group from over a year ago when we all got involved and founded that. Now I'm of course talking about the I am a creator group with the extra A in it, because there was a different group got together and founded the I'm a creator without the extra A in the beginning. But we were there very close to the beginning of that, and some of us were misspelling it wrong and ended up inadvertently creating a whole nother group spelled I am a creator instead of I am a creator. And man, did it take off. You see how huge it is, where if you go to people like James Cox's live, and you just see lots and lots of people in there, members of the group and wanting to join the group. And of course, very soon after that, we created the hashtag Insanefriends group. Reviewing, playing, and more, 53 million. No, it's not quite that big. It's not quite a million either. Anyway, I'm going to give this to Dennis at Reviewing, Playing, and More RPM, because he does have the guesses that are closest to it. Thank you for trying, Stacy Morgan and Fab Automotive Detailing. DSW Joyride Productions. If you haven't heard the question, starts with a little history lesson. The first trivia question is, in 1959, MG had sold over 100,000 MGs after 40 years of production. And the question is, how many MGs were produced in 2018 in that 1 year? And the hint is that it is more than the 100,000 they produced in 40 years. They produced more in the 1 year of 2018 than they did in 40 years from when they started till 1959. So reviewing, playing, and more RPM is another guess of 500,000. That is getting warmer. It's very close. And I'm going to tell you also, we can move it to the next question. I'm going to give reviewing, playing, and more the screen share on that. It is over 300,000 MGs produced in 2018. Over 300,000 MGs produced in 2018 alone. That is a lot of MGs. In 1 year. When way back when, in 1959, it had taken them 40 years to produce and sell 100,000 of them. Nowadays, in 2018, it took them 1 year to produce 3 times that many. That is a huge increase in production. Dennis, you're about to hit 2,800. Wow, congratulations. Dennis's work with computers, on computer upgrades and repairing computers and stuff, and the way he does it is a big hit because he's doing a good job. He's putting a lot into his videos. A lot of time and effort and planning. I mean, content is king. I mean, so many people have said it before me, but it is so true. You know, everybody's looking for a hack that's going to make their YouTube channel blow up, and there are plenty of good habits that you can adopt. You can copy good habits from other YouTube channels and stuff, but the one thing that will help your channel more than anything else is just putting the time and effort into creating really good content and, you know, presenting it well. And that doesn't come with your first video. You don't just come out of the gate doing that unless you've done other channels and failed, and got your practice that way. You got to just start making videos. You got to start making, if you have to, start making crappy videos, and then make them less crappy every time until you can start making them good, and then make as many good videos as you can and try to make those a little bit better until you get to where you can make great videos. And to try not to get discouraged, and don't give up before you start producing really great videos like Dennis does. And then your channel will start taking off. Don't give up. Don't give up. Now, while Dennis is on screen share here, and you can get an idea of what his channel looks like, and you can see some of his thumbnails and see what kind of stuff he's into, which, like I said, is computers, computer upgrades, and computer repairs, laptops, that sort of thing, computer accessories. He does do a little bit of gaming too. And a lot of the upgrades that he does will help if you are into gaming on your PC. a lot of the upgrades that he shows how to do will really help your computer be able to handle that gaming. A lot of those upgrades translate to editing, because if you're doing a lot of editing, that takes up a lot of the same type of memory and processing speed that you need for gaming. So if you don't do gaming, but you do editing, then you can really benefit from some of the upgrades and stuff he's talking about as well. The next question is, between 1938 and 1981, Volkswagen produced how many Type 1 vehicles? And we're talking about the Beetles here. The Volkswagen Beetles. How many Type 1 Volkswagens or Beetles produced between 1938 and 1981? That's a long period of time. So we're looking for a big number here. See how we're doing on the chat.
Hey, where's my chair? What am I supposed to do?
Grab your chair's right over there where we were live on. Yeah, I do too, baby. Easy 2 tips and tricks, etc., etc. Ken out of California, how are you doing? Ken is part of our hashtag Insane Friends live calendar. And as we discussed early on,
and I can't see me yet.
Oh, they can see you. We're not on screen share.
I can't carry that chair. It's too heavy.
Okay, I'll go get it for you.
My back hurts.
Easy 2 tips, tricks, etc. is on Thursday night, right after Dorito and the Lucha Cabra, as I was talking about early in our broadcast.
Oh no. Oh no.
There you go. There is the throne for the queen of the car scene, and the queen of the insurance scene.
Hi.
Has arrived.
Oh, my food's still cooking.
Now the show's going to get good.
Hi.
The queen is here.
Hi. How you doing? I don't have my computer with me, so I don't know what you guys are saying. Hi.
I took my glasses off, so I don't know what they're saying either.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's crazy. I don't know. Well, tomorrow I'm starting to deprive myself of food. I'm gonna have chicken and vegetables every day. Broccoli, cauliflower, carrots. And a salad. That's it. Can't see nothing. Did they say anything nice? Did they miss me?
Everything they say is nice. We got such a wonderful group of people in our hashtag Insane Friends, and people that show up in our chat. They're all wonderful people. They have nothing but nice things to say, and I'm so happy to see y'all guys every week.
I'm exhausted. I had a problem. I don't know where all of those containers are. The ones we used to have salad in. So I've only got 4 salads made. I only got to make 4 salads. What are you doing? You're very quiet. Stop.
I'm reading the chat. I'm trying to catch up with what everybody's saying, and I'm waiting for the answer to the question that between 1938 and 1981, Volkswagen produced how many Type 1 vehicles, and that would mean the Beetles.
One. Just one.
And I think Stacy Morgan has got it.
There was just one. Because he said one take pudding.
Stacy Morgan says 22 million. It was indeed roundabout. Like I said, these are not exact figures that I have here for the answers. 20 million. So Stacy Morgan, ding, 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 ding. Good job. 20 million Type 1s by 1981.
Hi. This is got a lag. See that? That's just a lag. Wow.
There we go.
Hi.
New banner art for the Stacy Morgan page. And there's the symbol. He made that. It's not just a picture. Made that. And this is the home of the community wall. Stacy is the one that created the community wall. And he puts people on the community wall to help them get more exposure for their YouTube channels and grow their YouTube channels, which is another unique method of supporting. And that's one of the reasons why I say if anybody is in the chat here and they haven't supported somebody else that's in the chat, please do support people in chat. And we're not talking about sub for sub, because we're talking about something that goes way beyond sub for sub. And it's much better than sub for sub. It's community building.
Really?
And community building involves many different types of support, not just subbing to each other, but helping each other's channels grow. Yep. And that's what friends do. Friends help each other out. We are making friends. We're building a community of friends.
And
the hashtag Insanefriends are doing that. The I Am a Creator group is doing that. The Mopar community is doing that. Exactly.
To go on somebody's channel and watch a video.
Right, and it doesn't
give them a thumbs up.
It doesn't cost anything to shout out somebody's channel. It doesn't cost anything to say something nice to somebody or about somebody, and it doesn't cost anything to put somebody's name up on the wall. And Stacy is the one that pioneered this thing and created this thing, this method of support, where he creates a wall and puts people's name on the wall in an effort to support them and help them grow. And I think that is a wonderful thing. And all these other people who have come up with all these wonderful ideas in different ways that they can support other channels and help other channels grow. And I do believe that comes back to the people that are doing that. I believe that there is YouTube karma is real. It does come back to you. The things you do to help others really does come back to you, even more so than it does in other parts of the world. But it works in other parts of the world and other endeavors as well. But you can really see it when you help people on YouTube. You can see it come back to the people who are helping. I mean, we'd all get a little frustrated sometimes with the people that are just nothing but drama, and bad acting and bad habits, and then YouTube promotes that unfairly, and it explodes, and they end up with a huge following for all the wrong reasons. And I know we all get frustrated for that.
The algorithm decides.
It's because they're using a blind algorithm. Yes.
How many people watch it, that means it must be good.
And computers cannot tell the difference between something getting a lot of watch time because it's bad, or something getting a lot of watch time because it's good. And so that is one of the worst failings of the Google and YouTube algorithm, is that it just cannot. It's not smart enough yet to know the difference.
Yeah.
And so we still need to support each other. People who have good, clean channels and trying to keep it clean and are suffering because of it, because they just can't, they don't have that, that LCD, lowest common denominator appeal, and they don't have that to blow up their channel. And they don't want that to blow up their channel. They don't want to be known for that. We need to help those people out and help each other out and help those good, clean content channels grow. And I see a lot of people are doing that now, coming up with really unique ways of supporting each other. And that's what we mean when we say support each other. We're not encouraging people to do sub for sub. That is against the terms of service. We're not encouraging anybody to do anything that's against the terms of service. We're actually encouraging people to go along with what YouTube says they want, and that is community building. YouTube says it wants more community building. That's what we want. We want more community building of good, clean channels and supporting good, clean channels, and give them a chance against some of these other channels that are just drama, 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 and and bad acting. So
wow.
Right, enough of that. Go back to the chat. Congratulations, Stacy Morgan, for getting that question right. And then next, our next trivia question has to do with Subaru. You don't have to be quiet. You're the queen of the car scene. You can do what you want. Look here, I give you more of the camera. There, how about that?
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. W.
Subaru had been selling a rear engine 360 for about 9 years.
Why?
Because they could and they wanted to.
But
in 1966, after 9 years of doing that, it was 1966. And then
they decided not to anymore? Yay!
Actually, kind of, yeah. They decided not to anymore. They decided to instead try to compete with Toyota Corolla. And yes, the Toyota Corolla has been around that long, since before 1966. A lot of juicy history involved in this question here. So, in an attempt to compete with that Corolla in 1966.
Did it have good gas mileage with it?
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
yeah they did.
Awesome.
They, especially compared to larger cars and stuff. Yeah, oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, they did pretty good.
Awesome.
I mean, Subaru was true to their mandate at that point. They're pretty much a motorcycle type engine, a motorcycle type gas mileage, but in a car.
But really?
Yeah.
And what about our car?
Honda started out like that too.
Did it get as good a gas mileage as our car?
I doubt it. Maybe the 360 did. Yeah. The 360 might have.
Yeah.
But,
guess what?
But I guarantee you it wasn't nearly as comfortable.
I'm getting 46 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, we'll reveal that in another video. It's this has to do with a car that could make or break our channel. Could destroy this whole channel. We're not going to reveal what it is now, because we don't want to find out if this is going to destroy our channel or make our channel yet. But it will be revealed within the next 2 weeks what car she's talking about. It will be controversial though.
Oh, they already
with our
know. We told them last week.
You did? Did you say? Oh no. So if you were watching last week, you already know. If you weren't watching last week, you're going to have to wait until sometime this week or next week to find out.
Yeah.
And there will be a lot of repairs and maintenance on this vehicle too. So lots of videos on that.
Yay.
But we won't be neglecting our other vehicles. Mustang, our Corvette, Jaguar, all those things are going to get a lot of much needed repairs and maintenance. Yeah. And it will be uploaded on the channel. But then, of course, this weekend we have the big car show. So there's going to be some videos about that first.
Did you tell them about my news?
The queen of the insurance scene is now officially, or will be, what is it?
July the 1st.
July the 1st is the, can you tell him? Let me tell him.
Okay.
The manager of the Allstate office
That I work at.
in East Ridge, Tennessee.
Yay. Where's our chat?
I'm just looking for that.
What happened?
There we go. Now we can see you guys.
Okay. Don't Corolla have one-cylinder motor? No.
Impact's Garage and Gaming. You're right. And Matt MPG is here.
Yay!
Impact's Garage and Gaming.
Easy tips and tricks and review,
Etc. Etc.
and playing and more RPM. Wow, wow.
Hey, Impacts, don't be worried about being late. It is the theme for tonight.
Doesn't like
Everybody
us.
was late tonight, including us.
Somebody doesn't like us. Because there's 6 people looking at us.
And you're right, Ken, easy 2 tips, tricks. I am talking about reaping what you sow when I say that about karma. And it is real. And that is a very good biblical way of putting it. Reaping what you sow.
Yeah.
Tornado warning here in southern Pennsylvania.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, I hope you're all right, and I hope your cars are all right there, Matt. Don't Corolla have a one-cylinder motor? Stacy, I actually don't know. I'm going to have to do some research on that. That's going to keep me up at night now. Way back when, did they have a one-cylinder? Does anybody know? Did they have a one-cylinder motor in some of the old Corollas? I know they had like some super small engines back then in a lot of the cars. And it's really neat to look through some of those museum cars and see what they had and what they were driving around with. Now, the Subaru been selling these rear engines 360 for about 9 years in 1966 in an attempt to compete with Toyota Corolla. They changed a lot of things. So, Subaru decided to build their first front-wheel drive car. And the question is, what size was the first engine in this first front-wheel drive car, and what was the horsepower?
It was this big.
In 1966, they went to a bigger engine and front-wheel drive. And we're talking about they're going from a rear engine 360 to a bigger engine and front-wheel drive. What size was that bigger engine, and what was the horsepower rating? Keep in mind, they're trying to compete with Toyota Corolla in 1966.
It was 1 horsepower. 1.4 liter.
Yep, Impact's Garage and Gaming's guess is 1.4 liter at 60 horsepower. Anybody else care to try? Impact Garage and Gaming wants to know if he's going to see Dakota on the stream. She has actually made an appearance on the stream a few times.
Yeah, but she's outside right now. She doesn't want to come in.
Exactly, with the weather the way it is now, she really likes to hey, Camaro time!
Hi.
Welcome to the chat.
Well, it's getting close to time because
Stacey Morgan says 1966, 977 cc's at 55 horsepower. Now, it doesn't get much closer than that.
Yeah, he's just off that corner.
And the car was called 1000. Yes, it was. The car was a 1000 cc. And I would have accepted 54 horsepower too, because there's kind of some contention there. It was either 54 or 55, you know, something like that. And yes, it was closer to 977 cc's than it was 1,000, but it was called the 1,000, and which is quite a huge jump from a 360 rear engine to they jumped to a 1,000 cc. But they were wanting to compete with the Corolla hard, and they have, you know, been front wheel drive ever since. These front wheel drive engines in those.
I gotta go check the chicken.
In those.
I don't want to burn it.
You're welcome. Thank you for the shout out in the video there, Camaro Time, and you're gonna have to show us sometime how to do that really cool editing with the. If y'all haven't seen his video, you've got to at least see this new video Camaro Time did, and pay particular attention. He's got a part of the video where he's, you know, doing his normal video things, and it's a great video that Camaro Time does. But then in addition to that, he's got a little rocket thing moving along the screen of video there. And then later on, he has a really cool way of including an explosion in the video. And I could describe that too, but you just got to see it the way he did it. It's different. And it's cool. And I would like to learn how to do that too. Like I said, we're saying earlier, you know, we got to be not just watching each other to support each other, but watching each other's videos to learn and copy each other's good habits and replace any and all of our bad habits with those good habits until we all grow together. We all increase our quality of content together, because content is king. That's going to grow your channel more than anything else is content. And right up there with content, it's like a three-legged stool. You've got your content, you've got your nose to the grindstone, the work, just, you know, steady working at it, increasing your content quality, the quality of your content. And then the third thing is community. You know, being in a community like this and giving and receiving the community support. And those three things are the pillars, can be the pillars of your growth. And when you watch other people's videos for, you know, long periods of time, don't short watch each other's videos, but watch each other's videos, the whole video. You're not just supporting that other channel. You're learning how to make higher quality videos from watching their videos. You're learning the things that they're doing right, the mistakes that they're making. Don't copy the mistakes. Don't criticize the mistakes. Point out and comment about the great things you see in their videos so you can encourage them to do more of those good things, and try to do those good things yourself in your videos as well. And their videos will get better, and your videos will get better, and then the growth will come. Oh yeah, it's getting close to Greg's time. Getting really close to Greg's time. So our last trivia question, we'll get that out there. Our last trivia question, if I can get this thing to do what I want it to do. And like I said, the trivia questions are going to be all over the place tonight. What was the first year of the Jeep Wrangler? What was the first year of the Jeep Wrangler? It's going to be all over the place. All different types of vehicles and all different time frames. So we've been as far up as the 2018s. We've been as far back as the 50s. I don't know why my screen share is not working, but it's not. So it doesn't look like we get to do any more screen share tonight. I'm sorry, guys. Just going to show Stacy's one more time since you didn't get that last question right. And we didn't have a lot of people to answer tonight, so we usually just give one screen share for one answer per, so that everybody has a chance to get on screen share. We didn't have a lot of people in chat tonight. We started late. It's our own fault. We started our show late, so we didn't gather as much audience as we usually do.
Okay. We got to go because Gregory's coming on through.
That's right. I am. I'm on the last question. I'm wrapping it up now. Impact's Garage and Gaming says 1980. And Camaro Time says 1944. And Impact's Garage and Gaming got closest with 1980 because it was 1987, and I would also accept 1986 because they were 1987 models, and of course they came out in mid-1986, being sold as 1987 models. That's just the way new cars are sold, so all the manufacturers do it that way. But 1986 or 1987, either one of those answers is correct. That was the first Wranglers. First Wranglers. And it is 8:55, so we're going to have to go and leave time for Gregory Salvatore. His live is at 9 p.m.
I had to put some more chicken in. I didn't put enough.
Okay.
And I ran out of containers for salad. I could only find a couple.
I have trying to find our chat here. I can't see our chat here.
Yep.
Okay, so the Camaro Time thought I said the CJ, and that's why I said 1944. So apparently we all learned something else too. The CJs came out in 1944.
Yeah.
Then later the Wranglers in 86 or 87. Either year would be correct. Thank you all for coming. It's great to see you again. I'm a little distracted because my computer here is trying to send me all kinds of notifications all at once while I'm trying to wrap up the stream and close up stuff, and it's keeping me from being able to click on what I need to click on in the screen because it's throwing all these YouTube notifications at me all at once. I don't know why it does that, but it'll not notify me of anything, and then all of a sudden when I go to try to do something, it just starts throwing a dozen notifications up underneath my cursor here and keeping me from being able to click on anything except the notifications, and I have to keep telling it over and over again. No, I don't want to deal with that one yet. Don't want to deal with. I'm even getting notified that Gregory Salvatore's live is coming on, and I'm telling you, YouTube, hey, I know I'm trying to get off so he can have his. Okay, I think it's done. Woo! Finally. Okay. All right. Now, thank you so much for being here. We're so happy to see you guys every week. We'll be right back here again next Sunday, and maybe we'll be on time.
No, we will not be here next Sunday.
We won't? Why is that?
Anniversary. anniversary. I am going to.
Yes, we did have an anniversary recently.
This
is a different anniversary.
Yeah. See, the first one was my anniversary when we were when we first got married. This one was when I got back, and I got back within 2 weeks of the time we got married.
Yeah, she was in Peru for 16 or 17 years, and then I was with somebody else, and we couldn't get back together, and so she was in Florida for a number of years.
Yeah.
And then we were both not with somebody at the same time.
Yeah.
I was not with somebody. She was not with somebody at the same time.
And we
for the first time
always
in many years.
Friends.
For about 30 years.
Yeah.
First time we had not been with somebody else at the same time.
Yeah. And then we got back together. It's been 2 whole years, and I stopped smoking the day I got back too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been 2 years I don't smoke, and I still want a cigarette every once in a while. It drives me crazy, and then I smell the nasty stuff that I go, chew.
All right, so till the next video, guys, get off the couch and get dirty.
No, stay clean. See, right there. See those pretty fingernails? If you got dirty, you wouldn't have pretty fingernails like that.
I got pretty fingernails too, see?
Yeah. Mine are prettier, see?
Like my pretty fingernails.
Pretty colors, see? Mine are prettier. They cost more too. He just banged his with the hammer.
No, I banged it with a transmission.
Oh, with the
Bashed it with a transmission, yeah.
I had to go pay for that. See?
Yeah, see, you can just bash your fingernails with transmissions and you can have black fingernails and you don't have to pay nothing.
But it's just prettier.
All right, good night, guys.
And it does this.
Oh.
You see that? You see what that does? That's so easy. You just like, it's easy.
Paralyzed.
Push the button.
Good night.